Is Joe Biden calling a lid on America? That's today on Come On Now. What an interesting time we live in. It's a lot like that Chinese proverb we all wish to avoid living in. Currently, we have war brewing in the Middle East, a ground war, among other things, possibly brewing. And this comes on the heels of Donald Trump recently negotiating several historic peace deals between Israel and its Arab neighbors. We have stubbornly high unemployment as much of the country is coming out of COVID lockdowns, but the blue states, several of them stubbornly are not yet. And we have a president who is running a racist relief policy at the Small Business Administration when it comes to restaurants that simply need to get back to work. We also have gas lines for the first time this severe since the Jimmy Carter administration. Oh, and by the way, we have chaos on the U.S.-Mexico border, so large and so extensive that almost 20 Texas counties had declared emergencies. Where is Joe Biden and the federal government? Well, if you hear from Kamala Harris, who is Biden's appointed border czar, the problem at the border is really a problem with climate change.
And so we are focused on addressing both the acute factors and the root causes of migration. And I believe this is an important distinction. We must focus on both. First, the acute factors, the catastrophes that are causing people to leave right now, the hurricanes, the pandemic, the drought, and extreme food insecurity, the lack of climate adaptation and climate resilience.
Yeah, climate change, not Biden's own policies, shutting down construction of the wall that Trump was building successfully, and not Biden's rolling out the welcome mat for every migrant who wanted to come here and not making excuses for them while blaming Americans for wanting a secure border and safe communities. It's all about climate change and all kinds of other crazy issues. Joe Biden had a bad week. I think it's fair to say that, but he made it worse when on Tuesday, with all of these crises spiraling out of control, he called a lid. If you're not familiar with that term, that's because presidents previous to Biden didn't call lids. When you call a lid, what you're doing is saying the day is over. You're not going to hear from this person anymore. Biden frequently called lids during the campaign, which he ran from his basement, and now he's calling a lid from the White House, which apparently he's running from some basement undisclosed somewhere else because he doesn't seem to be doing the job. When he's not calling a lid, he's getting confused. A lot. Roll the tape, guys.
For example, there's a situation where there's an estimation of somewhere between $700 billion and $1.3 trillion if we have more IRS agents and we go after those folks who are avoiding taxes at the top end.
Now, here's what drives the driver in the states that are affected. Here's what you can do, the drivers. Don't panic, number one. You guys are bad. I'm not supposed to be answering all these questions. I'm supposed to leave, but I can't resist your questions. I came away encouraged, but I want to make it clear to you. I'm encouraged not just because of a solid meeting with I'm making it sound more fun to get vaccinated, but it doesn't hurt to get vaccinated. I'm not saying it's fun, but they'll be able to have other things available besides being protected from the virus. I'm going to repeat. We're going to make it easier than ever to get vaccinated. Visit vaccines.gov, or text your zip code to 438829. 438829. Walk into your local pharmacy without an appointment. Go to the doctor or local health clinic. Job creation is soaring. The economy is growing, and our country is on the move again. But some of the parts of our economy need special help. At the top of that list is our nation's restaurants. When COVID-19 pandemic struck, our nation's restaurants were some of the first hit and the worst hit. In 2020, more than 2.3 million restaurants jobs disappeared. 2.3 million restaurant jobs disappeared. Restaurants are more than a major driver of our economy. They're woven into the fabric of our communities. So, if you think about it, when I was vice president with Barack, he allowed me to put together a budget for Amtrak, and it had money for high-speed rail at 200 miles an hour from Charlotte, another line going from in Florida down to Tampa, another line. If we had moved, Gov, we'd have that tunnel fixed in New York now. The money was there to get it done. So the best way to get something done, if it holds near and dear to you that you like to be able to, anyway, we're going to get a lot done. And if we have to, if there's complete lockdown and chaos as a consequence of the filibuster, then we'll have to go beyond what I'm talking about. Okay, hang on. Sorry. Oh, Ms. Kim.
This is the leader of the free world? No wonder this guy's calling a lid. He can't keep his sentences straight even when he's reading off of a teleprompter. By the way, I'm not reading off of a teleprompter here. The issue really is Joe Biden. Is he up for the job? Recently, 124 retired military with stars up to the number 3 on their shoulder questioned Biden's fitness to serve, saying that essentially this is the issue, this is the elephant in the room that we all need to talk about. Now, can you imagine the coverage such a letter would have gotten during the Trump presidency? But of course, with the letter coming in the Biden presidency and addressing an issue that we all see right in front of our eyes, the media don't want to cover it at all. In fact, if they do cover it, they may suggest that these retired military leaders are staging a coup. While all of this is going on, we've had the CDC come out and backtrack once again on wearing masks, and then Biden tweeted this about wearing masks if you're vaccinated. Now, you might think this doesn't reflect his overall attitude, it's a one-off, but it's really not. Remember back just a few weeks ago when he said, hey, if you do everything I tell you to do, then you might be able to have a 4th of July barbecue.
If we do all this, if we do our part, if we do this together, by July the 4th, there's a good chance you, your families and friends will be able to get together in your backyard or in your neighborhood and have a cookout and a barbecue and celebrate Independence Day. That doesn't mean large events with lots of people together, but it does mean small groups will be able to get together. After this long, hard year, that will make this Independence Day something truly special, where we not only mark our independence as a nation, but we begin to mark our independence from this virus.
Yeah, I got news for you, Joe. We didn't stop barbecuing here in Texas. They didn't stop barbecuing in Florida or Arizona or Oklahoma or any other of the states that stayed open. South Dakota never even closed down at all. Yeah, you can say whatever you want, pal, but that's not how America works. We don't work for you. We don't listen to orders from you. You work for us, even if we didn't vote for you. So you need to take that little tweet back where you're trying to tell us what we can do and what we can't do, and you should take that tweet and, do something with it. Tweets like that, suggestions that we might be able to celebrate 4th of July, suggest that Joe Biden isn't just calling a lid on his days, he's calling a lid on the American experiment. This needs to be nipped in the bud and stopped in its tracks right now. Come on now. I'm Bryan Preston.